I take a deep breath and bring all my attention in the center of forehead. And become aware of my own self as point of light. In the center of forehead as a point of light. All the energy is drawn towards center of forehead. It's also the place for third eye. I emerge my eternal image, image of purity, image of love. Image of peace, the vibrations of each quality deeply connects with the breath of body. And it is the breath, main source of life. It also then spreads the vibrations of these qualities in the body. Through the breath, I take these vibrations in every part of the body. As a soul, I am light. So the physical form changes into the form of light. Also create a beautiful crown of light. This is my angelic form. Form of purity, love, peace. And I connect with Baba. One who is ever pure, ocean of peace, ocean of love. I remain stable in my eternal form. And take the Shri from Baba.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avekti Parivar. Today is day 8, Soul Consciousness, a drop of awareness 5 times a day. Harmony, kindness, and patience. Now we'll be listening to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. The theme which we are taking this time is changing from soul consciousness, from body consciousness to soul consciousness. But also because soul is in the body, then what kind of awareness I should have towards my own body is very important. So when I was reading Murli and Baba said, first is your relationship with your body and then bodily relationships. And I thought it's very interesting because maybe we haven't in particular practiced how do I look at my own body. And generally it's my name is this and I look tall and my complex is this and my eyes are this. We are aware of the features of the body, color of the body, how much people talk about these days color of the body. What is the color of the skin or personality or beauty, eyes. But generally, whenever, let's say, if I think of Dadi Janki, many qualities will come, but first her form will come, her image will come, right? I will say. Then if I look at Dadi Prakashmani, her image will come. And also, when devotees will have our vision, mm, it's not just they see only soul, but they see total image, soul in the body. And then also realizing and understanding that every thought in the mind, which is part of the soul, have deep influence on the cells of the body, which is from the matter or nature. And really, if we realize that how deep is the connection, so there are sanskars in the soul, thought emerges from those sanskars, and then thought again connects with my breath, attitude, awareness, everything then emerges from the thought. So I thought, okay, let's do this practice, which I don't think I have done, at least in particular, to understand, to go deep, to create that stage where I have this realization that how every thought through the breath is going in the whole body, all the cells of the body. If there is suddenly something happen and there is fear in the mind, you can immediately feel the palpitation increases and people start perspiring. So it's the thought of fear. And then not only it goes in the body, the response the way body gives, but also stays because body immediately responds and react to the fear. But if you see something fearsome and you don't have thoughts of fear, so it's not question of situation, it's question of what I'm thinking at that time. We have heard Dadi Prakashmani stories, but of many those who do tapasya, that very wild animals, they come and sit in front of them in a, very calmly. So it's not what the situation is, but how my mind is responding to that situation. So body becomes part of that. They say if someone worries for 5 minutes, the tiredness in the body is of for 5 hours. If you're really worried about something, you see the effect on the body. It's very tired, no energy, can't do anything. What happened? Nothing happened to body. Body is healthy, but mind is worried at thoughts of deep concern or fear. So that is why we are talking about creating the awareness And that awareness through the breath goes to the body, and body gets sustenance from that too. I really liked lot, which I had done many times, is when I say I'm a peaceful soul. So when I say it, I want to feel peace, and I find that my breath becomes very, very calm, and I start finding my all parts of the body, all organs become very, very quiet, very peaceful. Just with one thought. Because sometimes we just say words and we think, but we don't inhale them, we don't adopt them. But that's what we are practicing now. That when I say I am a loveful soul, so but then again it's the love in soul consciousness. Because there had been love in body consciousness before, and now the love is in. So, what I'm trying to explain, the deep connection of soul and the body, or soul and the nature, so that as Baba in the Murli, when he talks of four powers, first he said of body, because soul has to use the body. When Baba used the word uh, for health in Hindi as tandrust, no, swasth. Baba says swasth. So means self, and sthit, that means your stage. So one is thinking of the body in body consciousness, another is thinking of body in soul consciousness. Baba gives example that people keep horses, people keep carriages and horse carriages, or it's according to their uh, standard. Look at the, of course, the part of Brahma Baba as a soul, but even look at the body he has chosen. And how Baba maintained body as a chariot, presentable as chariot of God. So when we have vision, it's very, very alokik, very spiritual. Uh, some Lokik people used to say for Baba, very cute, he's beautiful. Your Baba is very beautiful. And we knew that that beauty was in his awareness. So there is deep connection of awareness in the body. Baba never thought that my body is old. He will always say, I am becoming this little beautiful child like Krishna. So his face has that beautiful smile, very pure, innocent of a child, because that was in his awareness. Dadi Janki used to look at someone, what is your age? Dadi, I'm 70. But why are you looking old? She said, "What you mean? I'm 70, so I will look old, no?" She said, "No." Mm. So, how much it depends on the awareness. We have example in front of us. Mm. And also remember that mm, vision comes not only of the soul, but soul in the body. I remember when at earlier age, I had to be in hospital sometimes. Mm. So when visitors will come, Baba's children, "Oh, you look so well." I said, "I'm well. I am well." Yeah, body is going through something. Mm. Once I was in Guyana and we had a dinner for some VIPs. So that day, body was not too well. So somebody asked, and I said, "Today costume is not so well. Vehicle is not so well." And it was such a fascinating thought for them. So why it is important that my soul conscious drishti towards my own body. Mm. Whenever you look in the mirror, look in the center of forehead and see the sparkle of the soul on your face. And you will smile because really, really beautiful, it's sparkling. Just thought of I am a pure soul, that whole uh, face will radiant with that purity. So in a way, it's like a magnifying glass, the body. So soul and body, actually, soul and the nature are very deeply connected. If soul is not in the body, body won't be here. And if soul doesn't have body, then how will I play my part? Right? So that is why what we're doing is taking the awareness, creating the awareness of deep connection of soul and body. So one is okay, you have fear in the mind, then in the body, then you react and do actions based on that fear, right? Then it becomes sanskar, then it will come back, right? Someone asked Mama that if I have a thought, which is not a good thought, but if I don't do action, so Mama said, then it won't be a sinful action, but still you have to change the thought. So when we say karmas, it is the thought, I'm doing actions through the body. So in golden age, our features are very divine. So we're creating divine features now. We're not using anything for increasing the beauty of face, but it's the light and the peace and love, the vibrations and the rays of purity. That's why some share when they held Dadi Janki's hand or Baba's hand, Dadi Prakash Mari's hand. There was so much current of what? Purity, love, peace. So practice and experiment, and I'm sure you will find it is significant. So that's why we said harmony between soul and body. Otherwise, there is a struggle. Now, when there is pain in the body, or some nights you're not able to sleep, mm, if you really go into this practice of what we're doing, I am soul, center of forehead, I am point of light, and seated on the lotus throne, you will have very beautiful experience, whether you are sleeping or not, but you will feel very rested, very rested. I do it very often. So in soul consciousness, responding to what body also is going through will give you beautiful experiences, no restlessness. I immediately say, oh, maybe some devotees need sakash. I don't say why I'm not able to sleep. Maybe devotees need some sakash. Maybe some Baba's children need some rays of light. So I do it, and then I don't know when I go to sleep. When Baba says you have to serve 24 hours, so how that happens? Not that I sit and do yoga whole night. But if it happens that you're not able to sleep or you are awake, sometimes it's the calling, no? Baba says it could be calling. So if you say, take it in a positive way and then practice soul consciousness for your own body. We only think of good wishes for others, but what about the own body? Right? So every thought sends deep vibrations to the body. Mhm. And then we will be taking now on to be kind and to have patience with the body. A lot of people talk about healing power in the hands. Now, when there is very, very pure spiritual love for the soul, even your own body, when you, uh, if you have a pain somewhere with your own body, with your own hands, you just move your hand around that part and you will find that there is relief. So, a kind person, that means kindness towards your own body, from that quality will help you. If you are thirsty, you won't give food to your body, right? The body needs water, you will give water, right? I have a lot of experience with patience with the body. One time there was something where I knew that for 1 year my body will not be functioning, walking, or going somewhere. So I said, okay. Because I knew that this 6 months or 2 months will pass. So I used to joke, I said, I have entered a tunnel, but I know there will be exit from the tunnel. That means there will be bright light. So sometimes physically, your body can be in a kind of situation, but how do your mind think? So when you have patience, then recovery of the body. Or I always remind myself what is ultimately my aim is to be in remembrance of Baba. whether soul is in the body or no, or I have to leave. But my aim is to be in remembrance of Baba. So I really keep my mind deeply in remembrance of Baba. Remember Baba. Be with Baba. So it's only with patience that you are able to have a consolation to your own body or just a thought. This body is for Baba's service. So you don't get impatient. No, I can't do this. No, it's not possible. How will that be? So many doubtful thoughts. So these are explanations, but each one of us need to experiment because each one of us will have situations. It can be example, you are on the road and suddenly something happened to your car. What you do, take the car on the side and you think what to do, right? You make a phone call with whichever company could come and help you. Have patience, you look around, and yes, in few minutes you do get help, right? So always have a very, very loving and joyful and kind thought towards your own body. I remember that many years ago I was in Delhi. So one brother was going for his surgery. So we went in the morning to before he had to go for surgery. And we said, let's remember Baba and have good wishes. And but also, he thought it's a big surgery. I don't know what's going to happen. But still, he wanted to do something for Baba's yagya. He did everything. So they took him in, and after about half an hour, they brought him back. I said, wow, he doesn't need surgery. We found a medicine which can help him. So how can karma be reduced to such extent? One of I was very young Brahmin, was being taken in hospital, and she was on a stretcher or something. And I went to see her, and she was smiling and saying goodbye to everyone as if she is going on a trip. So that is why sometimes they say visit to the hospital is going on a pilgrimage. And that's what is a very common concept in Yagya. I'm going on a pilgrimage body for the body. Even people go on pilgrimage places, sometimes it's so difficult. But they say more difficult it is, more sins will be burned, destroyed. So they go, keep climbing mountains and very cold, ice, water, very, very cold. When they go to Amarnath, very, very cold. Or recently, last year, big group went to Kailash mountain. It is very cold, extremely cold, because one of the guru wanted to do worshipping there, so all followers went. And there some couldn't even make it because it was so cold. So they take the body through these extreme situations so that you get, it's a sacrifice, so you get more reward. And here if something like that happens, Have patience. It's going to be over. And all that what you are thinking is supporting your body. Because it's the soul, it's the thoughts which is a living force. Body is body. And these experiments are done even later on, we see with the elements. So that deep trust within that, yes, body will cooperate, nature will cooperate because of the purity of the soul, pure thoughts of the soul. So I know that it's first time we are doing something like soul consciousness, drishti towards my own body. Soul conscious thinking towards my own body. We always thought about others or need outside, right? So I I knew that it's something different, new, but also we have to become the image, one who grants visions, right? So your smile is not artificial, no? It's from your inner contentment, from your happiness. So just be sparkling and in your state of being, which keeps body also in a very, very uh, healthy stage. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti to all. Feel like just waiting a couple of minutes to breathe in all those words and concepts, right? Each one of them so rich. And Sister Mohini, you were saying that this is the first time we are doing, but I think this is the first time this is happening in the whole Kalpa too. Really understanding, practicing, and experiencing the soul in the body. And just feeling very, very fortunate and appreciative of your guidance for all of us through this journey. So interesting thing you brought up that even here within the Brahmin family, when we remember someone, after all the soul consciousness we practice, it's the body that comes to mind. But it's not in the same ordinary way we would remember before. And when devotees will have a vision, also it will not be the soul, it will be the soul in the body. So, how important for us it is to create the right awareness and the vision and the attitude towards our own body. Very beautiful. So, we all, I think, really got it that what really affects the body is not so much the situation, but how the mind reacts or responds to the situation. So, how we have to be really carefully watching the mind through the day. As we even say, it's 5 times we are going to sit and practice, but I think this attention has to be there all the time. How I'm responding to situations and how that is affecting my body. So the practice again of thinking, inhaling peace, of course, like that, also inhaling every quality. And this whole idea of thinking of the body in body consciousness versus thinking of the body in soul consciousness. And sometimes Baba gives us the example of the owl, right? The owl that is hanging upside down and has everything upside down. So we used to put the body before the soul before coming to Baba's knowledge. And now we know the soul comes first, the body next. So it's like all of a sudden our vision has changed tremendously. Interesting how you brought up the awareness of age. Very, very common topic of discussion in a Brahmin family sometimes. Interesting also how, the older ones actually are the healthiest ones in Brahmin family. Have you noticed that, all of you? The younger the ones, the more problems, the more aches and pains we all have. But age consciousness is something also very connected to body consciousness. So everybody enjoyed soul conscious vision towards the body, starting from Amrit Vela all the way through. And a very lovely example of the body is like a magnifying glass. Whatever is happening in the soul is visible through the body. But my attention should really be on the soul. And today we are taking up the practice of harmony, but also combined with kindness and patience. So the healing really comes from that kindness. And patience is really how the mind thinks when the body is going through something. The greatest consolation that we can give to ourselves or to anybody else is to have patience. Right? Very, very inspiring to cultivate these two qualities as we practice soul consciousness. So the point, the practice for tomorrow, I am a point of light, a living being in the center of the forehead, seated on my lotus throne. My relationship with my body is of kindness and patience. So I'll read that again. I am a point of light, a living being in the center of the forehead, seated on my lotus throne. My relationship with my body is of kindness and patience. So I'm not sure how we would measure it through the day, but at least when we are sitting in meditation in Baba's remembrance, I think emerging these qualities of kindness, patience, that's going to be a very interesting exercise for tomorrow, especially when you sit in those 5 times or how many other times you do that. Right? So beautiful practice then again. So we are stringing all these beads in this rosary of awareness every day, adding one to the other. Somebody was saying today that we should take 1 week for each one of these things. I said yes, probably, but we have to do it on our own for now. It's not that what we have practiced we are leaving behind, but we are adding all these one on top of the other, as I said. So it's going to stay with us, and we're going to remind ourselves of the right awareness at the right time, as the need emerges during the day. So this was kindness, patience, in terms of relationship with soul and body. Sister Mohini wants to add something.
No, I just want to say that first you have to taste something, then you can give more to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in one day we practice and see how it brings strength and how do I feel about it. So we experiment. I was thinking that even explanation is given, but this is something until you practice in the sense of apply that quality and see how body responds and what are the benefits. And so it becomes like a sample, no? It's like you taste it. And then whenever is needed, we will need this lot more, right? And actually, I was remembering Dorothy Mann, and I said, her spirit of lightness and everything, makes everything like a sprig of thorn. So we have to make that in our life. Anything comes, it's a big settling, but then I make it a prick of thorn by towards my own body. My response to situation should be of trust, of patience, or whatever qualities. We will do few more for this week. And as I said, even when I started this week, only the word which attracted me from only was your relationship with body. With body, when Baba said, then he said body relationship. So I said, but first we have to do with the body, and then we will do with the bodily relationship. It will naturally change. Many things will change with our. So, holy drishti towards my own body. Holiness and highness, right? So, how do I think about my body? Holy, pure. So, purity not only of soul but of the body makes you worship worthy. No? Baba always says that Brahmins cannot be worshipped because bodies are from Kalyug, elements of Kalyug, but deities, because their body is also from the pure elements, can be worshipped. So when Baba says you have to become worship worthy, that means our body has to be purified so that from all virtuous, body also becomes full of all the virtues. And also when Baba talks of egoless, actually, this is what it is. In your pure awareness about your own body, so that when it grants vision, then everything looks pure and peaceful. And so it's very, very interesting experiment, and I think we should do it. And then later on, it will be very, very useful. Okay, Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Mohini.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Awake the Journey. Adi Dev. Remarkable stories about a remarkable soul.
The opposition from anti-Om Manli party strikes again. The anti-party hired a well-known lawyer to file a case against Brahma Baba. However, their prime target was Om Radhe, the young administrative head of Om Manli. Om Radhe was a young woman at that time. She did not have much experience in public speaking. However, she was filled with many divine virtues. She was loyal to God and His directions. So let's fly to the courtroom of Hyderabad. Om Radhe, along with 4 other sisters, enter the room with their royal presence. And the courtroom begins.
First, you must take this Gita in your hand and say under the oath that you will only speak the truth today.
Sure, Judge Sahib. What is the oath and what do I have to say?
Okay, take the Gita in your hand and say, I believe God to be omnipresent and whatever I say will be the truth.
Judge Sahib, I see that you are present here, but I do not know if God is present here. I am not able to see God with these physical eyes. Then how can I take an oath that I see God in your presence? I only see your soul in the form of a judge. So if you agree, I am prepared to take the oath that I see the soul in the form of you, the judge, as present, and whatever I say will be the truth.
Order, order! I am not God, so you cannot take the oath in my presence. To take the oath in the name of God is the rule of the court, and we cannot break it.
Judge Sahib, you have said to tell the truth, and I do not see God as omnipresent, and that's the truth. If I am not able to see God, how can I take a false oath?
This is a court, not a satsang. You don't need to give us knowledge. Here, this is the law, and you are insulting the law.
Just as you are not able to tolerate an insult to this court, I am not able to tolerate any insult to the Supreme Father of the world. Even in the Gita, God has said, whenever there is the darkness of irreligion, I descend. Then how is it possible that God could be omnipresent in the world? The Supreme One is knowledge, joy, and love. He is the ocean of peace and stability. In today's world, everyone is filled with vices. There is peacelessness and ignorance. So how can the Supreme Father be present in everyone?
Regardless of what you believe, the rules of the court must be obeyed. There are no exceptions.
Judge Sahib, I will not take a false oath under any circumstances.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham.
Looking at Om Radhe's authority and love for God, the judge agreed to proceed with the court without asking Om Radhe to take the oath.
All right, I will proceed with my first question. Why did you girls leave your homes and run away to Brahma Baba?
Judge Sahib, have you ever read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita? When the Lord played his flute, why did the gopis run to him intoxicated? Why were not cases filed against them in court? The flute referred to in the scripture is actually the same flute of knowledge that we are hearing through the mouth of Baba. It is the same intoxication we feel through this knowledge. Let me ask you, Judge Sahib, if a man leaves his family and takes sannyas, why is no legal case filed against them? In the eyes of God, both men and women are equal. He has put the urn of knowledge on the heads of women. Now us mothers have an opportunity of attaining purity and wisdom. Then why are these questions put on us? The answer is clear. Whatever hardships and abuses we have tolerated are their reaction to our purity.
What kind of eye lotion does Baba apply to your eyes?
Judge Sahib, have you read the scriptures? Then you must know that Gyan, godly knowledge, is indeed described in just such a term. There is a song, Gyan Anjan Satguru Diya, a Gyan Ander Vinash. When the Satguru, the Supreme Soul, applied the ointment of knowledge, the ignorance and darkness of souls were destroyed. It is just the ointment of knowledge that God is now applying to us.
How many children does Dadaji have?
Judge Sahib, we do not look at Dadaji. Our revelations come from the Supreme Soul. So you tell me, how many children does God have? Can any human being count them? He is the Lord of the three worlds. All souls are His children. You, sir, are also His child.
The judge wrote down all the points, and at the end, the entire court stood up and applauded Om Radhe for her fearless responses. When the sisters returned back to Karachi, Baba greeted them with loving drishti and smile, and he finally said, "Child, Baba is pleased." गई कोर्ट में किया था गर्जन सुना तुम्हें शेरावाली कमजोरों को बल देती पर कमजोरों को बल देती पर कमजोरी पर थी काली दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती हर रूप में है ढलते देखा हे जगदम्बे तेरी गोद में सब जग को पलते देखा माँ की ममता क्या होती है माँ तुझ में हमने देखा
Om Shanti. Interesting, right? So, of course, these stories are written in Adidev, and it's real. It's true stories, and the conversation which Mama had with Judge. That's how it was. So much fearlessness and authority of truth is visible through our Mama and Dadis, and that's where we had to learn from, right? Okay, so just a reminder, tomorrow is Tuesday and we'll be having our revision of Awekt Murli of Sunday from 5 to 6:10 p.m. Before our Bhatti starts. So that's the additional, and other things will be the same, Amrit Vela and evening sessions. Okay, Om Shanti, and now we'll remember Baba and take Drishti, share Drishti.
Om Shanti. It's so beautiful to see the real story of Mama, because Dadis, they always used to say that every opportunity which comes looks like a situation is the opportunity to give Baba's message. That's how it used to be in the beginning. Now we want to immediately resolve the situation and forget about what truth has to be told. So it's very, very real story and so beautiful and inspiring. Okay, Om Shanti and good night, everyone.